Democracy is a problem. If you don't believe it's a problem, then we have a solution to the problems that we face. All we need to do is find a method to transfer what you own to other people. The needs of other people must be given priority, and that is what the system enables us to do, to give priority to other people's problems. So this method is going to normalize the transfer of ownership from you to them. So yeah, what we're talking about then is democracy, the normalization of freeloading and or the institutionalizing of freeloading. We normalize and justify this transfer by saying the majority is right. So if we need 50 or 60 or even 70% of what you earn, then we create a majority who all vote to have what you have transferred over to an account. And the methodology or the mechanism that we're going to use to do this is called a government. The government is just a bunch of people who sit around to represent the majority voice, and they decide just how much of your income they're going to use to solve whichever problems they think have the priority. This is a very fair system because it expresses the will of the majority. We can call it the tyranny of the majority. And the tyranny of the majority is a fair and equitable solution because it is the majority opinion, or the opinion of a majority in the government concerning what the majority of the people want. Now you may have problems with this decision of the majority, but unfortunately for you, the majority has overruled your dislike of what their opinion is. And if you still have a problem with this, then you have a problem with democracy. You have a problem with the normalization and the institutionalization of freeloading, because democracy is basically the institutionalizing, the aggregating, if you like, of what one person does that isn't fair on others, namely having their costs transferred onto the account of other people. We call this in business externalization of costs, or the transfer of costs onto society and future generations. And this is all that democracy does. It's all that democracy is capable of doing. And if you don't like the idea of these transfers, then you don't like democracy. At the very heart of the democratic solution is government. Now, government is a freeloader. It exists only because it is able to take wealth from one group and transfer it to another, in this case to itself. Again, if you don't like the idea of somebody of paying somebody else's costs, then you don't like democracy. And there's no way around this. We hide this truth from ourselves just to survive and fit in, but the reality is we either support some kind of crime, some kind of theft, in the form of institutionalized, legalized, and justified through the democratic process kind of theft, or we object to it. If we object to it, the only alternative possible is the biblical answer, and this is the church. Now, you can call the church by a different name and oppose the idea of the Christianity, but you either accept democracy by any name or accept Christianity and the church by some other name, or you oppose democracy however you want to manipulate and reconfigure it, and accept the church. There isn't any other choices. It's one or the other. It's the law of the excluded middle, democracy. The choice that confronts us then is whether we're going to be democratic or Christian, whether we're going to have democracy or Christianity. The church is a different social system. The church is part of democracy. It's not an institution. The church is part of democracy, is a club. People sit in pews and pay dues. But this isn't the church that's in the Bible. In the Bible, it is a fully functional society that's an alternative to democracy. In the church, people seek to be charitable, which is a way of saying they are productive. A charitable person is one that gives what gives to society. He's not holding back. So he's creating value. He's being productive. To know this or to achieve this, we need to have a free market, because we need to be able to capture all costs and we need to capture all benefits within the same economic unit or the same economic system. We can't have greed or profit or selfishness, because this takes value and concentrates it separate from the costs. Costs and benefits need to be within the same account book or the same set of accounts. So the Christian is a servant of all in that he creates value for all. This is very, very important to understand. We can't be looking to just to create value for ourselves or for our family or for our business or even for our community. That value has to be create value for the world. I mean, if we had the means to establish the value of the planet, what we do has to add value to the planet. So the object of messianics and the object of the church and the object of all people should be to reconfigure the church as a social system, as an economy in which all value is captured, all costs are captured within the same economic accounting. And this is called doing works of faith. It's building the church as the people of God. When we add value, we are building up the church, we're building up the people of God, we're building up the planet. And this is what we need to start focusing on, not being people who are just building up value for some part, some institution or some small portion of the whole. If we're going to be godly, we need to be universal in the way we create value. Thanks for watching this video, and this is the end of the video, The End of Democracy. Thank you.